Hey folks, welcome to my YouTube at the Curb. I want to get on today and tell a story about what happened last night on the way home. I stopped at Kroger's like I do a lot of times at the grocery store on the way home to pick up a few things. And as I was going out, there was this, I would call a young man, I'd say probably in his upper 30s, who was walking along and he was just dragging his feet. He was a special kind of tired, and you could tell. Well, I stopped him and I said, "Son, you look tired." I said, "You look a special kind of tired." And he goes, "Yes, sir, I am." I said, "You get that tired at work?" "Yes, sir, I did." And I could see he had a ring on his finger. And I said, "You got a wife and kids at home?" "Yes, sir, I do." I said, "How many kids?" He said 4. And I said, "Man," I said, "that's cool." I said, "Well," I said, "according to the Bible," I said, "God worked, every time God did things, like creating the world, the heavens and the earth and all that, he did all his work. And he said his work was good." I said, "So the work that you did, I'm going to say that your work was good." And further on in Genesis, I told him, I said that in the garden, when Adam and Eve had eaten of the tree of good and evil, God told Adam that you're going to have to work, you're going to have to toil. You're gonna have to plow, man. No more free lunch, basically. And the guy said, "Yes, I'm familiar with the story." And I said, "Well, I want to tell you, thank you for taking care of your wife and your kids. Thank you for doing the good job that you did. You will sleep good tonight knowing that you did a good job, that you went out and you worked and you did your best." And I said, "I want to thank you for doing that." I said, "Because it's important, not only to your wife and your kids, but to everybody else around." I said, "So thank you for doing what you've done." Man, that old boy, he clouded up and he gave me a hug. Man, he liked to squeeze me in too. And he was very, very, very teary. And he said, "Thank you so much." He goes, "You just don't know what that does inside of me." And I said, "Well, that's good. I'm glad." And we talked just a few more moments, and I said, "You better go on, get on in there and get your stuff." And there was a lady off to the side. She came over. She said, "That was the coolest thing I've ever seen." And she goes, "Thank you for doing that for him." And anyway, the Bible says that the life and death is in the power of the tongue. When you see somebody who's especially tired like that and they've gone out and worked their butt off, well, that the employer, the foreman or superintendent may or may not have said something to that young man at the end of the day, but I don't think he did. I think he just kind of, nobody ever really notices, but I'm working hard. And he's doing that for his family. It's a good thing. I bet he slept good last night. But he slept good probably because somebody come along and said something. Acknowledge him. I know when he walked off, his shoulders were a little bit further back. He was a little bit taller, and his feet were a little bit lighter as he walked into that grocery store. Because I complimented him about what he had done, about him taking care of his family. It's important that we get acknowledged and we know other people know that we exist. I will go into Kroger's and talk to everybody. I say hello to everybody. Everybody in there that works there, they know that I'm going to speak to them. They know that I'm going to be part of it. And they know that I'm going to speak to them. So when I do those kinds of things and I reach out and talk to people like that, I know I've made a difference. I've talked about when you drop a pebble in the middle of the Pacific Ocean from 500 feet up, you've changed every shore. It might not look like you've done a big thing, but you have changed every shore. You might have changed the whole weather pattern because of your influence. Everywhere that water touches, you've changed it a little bit. So it's important what we do to go out there and lift other people up. It's important to go out there, and it doesn't matter if they agree with me or my lifestyle and whatnot, that I acknowledge who they are and what they are. People want to know that they exist. I've spoken before about the energy that we put out, the passion that we put out, the love we put out is an energy that draws people in. Just as well as the negativity is something that goes out and it pushes people away. But if we go out there and and we're that kind of a person that lifts others up, it changes the world. So that guy went home and probably had to, talk to his wife. Man, there's this crazy old boy out in the middle of Kroger's parking lot stopped and talked to me. It made me feel good. I bet that's what happened. I pray it did. If not, that's okay. It was about him. It wasn't about me. I wanted that guy to feel good about what he's done. See, us old guys need to go out there and lift up these younger guys that are out there, because somebody needs to let them know that what they've done is good. It's easy to go out there and tear the world apart and make them feel bad. It takes a lot more to go out there and make somebody feel good about what they're doing and what the changes that they make. God said that his work was good. And that old boy, his work was good too. I filled him in. And so we can make a difference one person at a time by going out there, acknowledging they exist. It's as simple as waving at somebody going down the road. I wave at people all the time. My hand's always waving at somebody going, truck drivers or whoever. I just do it because that's the love in me. I want it to go out. And it changes people. I go to the farmer's market on Saturdays and I acknowledge everybody. I mean, I talk to them, how you doing today? And people respond back. Oh, I'm doing okay. How you doing? And if they say they aren't, oh, is there anything I could pray for? I pray for people all the time at Kroger's. Just because I avail myself to somebody else. That's the thing. That's the video that I wanted to make today. That's the point I wanted to get across to other people. You can walk along with your cell phone in front of you. You can walk along and not pay attention to other things out there and just let the world go by. But if you acknowledge those people around you, if you acknowledge your neighbor that they're a good person, if you acknowledge other people and speak positive to them, well, then you're talking. And then all this political junk goes away. Then that guy may have gone home and talked to his neighbor or gave his kids an encouraging word, and his kids went on to help mom more, or mom just felt good because her man was taking care of her and the family. It's okay to go out there and make somebody else feel better about who they are. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. And the God that loves me that much, the God who loves me so much that that he was willing to put himself on the line for me and my family. And then he gave the example of that book that we could read and go out and reach other people and lift them up while it is today. That's what this life's about. That's what this is about. It's not about me, mine, and I. It's about us. We all got to share this planet. So if we go out and we're the kind of person that sticks our hand out in friendship, if we're the kind of person who goes out there and to speak to each other in love, then this world's going to be a whole lot better place. I figured I better come to the curb and give a message today. Lord bless. You all take care. Bye.